So let's use that metric I created. Is the Giants head coach, Pat Shurmur, a good NFL head coach? Okay, well, he has number 5, the least most important trait of the 5 necessary traits that I made a list of the 5 important things you need to be a good NFL head coach. Number 5, Pat Shurmur does know football. He's a good offensive coordinator. You want proof of that? Okay, well, he took Case Keenum to the NFC Championship game with the Minnesota Vikings. He made Case Keenum look incredible for an entire year. I don't think that Pat Shurmur is a bad X's and O's guy. He's a great coordinator. He understands the game of football. It's very clear to me. I don't know how you look at his past work and go, Pat Shurmur didn't just forget how to coach football and forget the X's and O's, the nerdy side of football. Now, is he a good decision maker? Forget in-game decisions. Let's talk about outside of game decision making. Is Pat Shurmur generally a good decision maker? I don't know. I mean, I really can't come up with a reason to say no, so I'm gonna say yes, just by default. He's probably a good decision maker. I've never seen him do anything stupid or horrible or embarrassing publicly. He seems like a guy who's got his head on straight. But Pat Shurmur fails the 3 most important things you need to be a great NFL head coach. The 3 most important things you need, he fails all of them. Number 1, does anybody fear or respect Pat Shurmur in that Giants locker room? I definitely don't think anybody fears him. I'm sure they respect him as a man, but man, nobody's afraid of Pat Shurmur in that Giants organization. Not at all. There's not a lot of respect for him going on around. If he was a captain of a pirate ship, his ship would have mutinied. A bigger, badder guy would have taken over that ship and said, hey, Pat, you're no longer the captain of this ship. Number 2, Pat Shurmur's not organized. He's also not a high-velocity thinker. Look at the way the Giants have handled in-game situations this year. They have stupid penalties. They make weird decisions. They do all kinds of... They just mismanage situations later in games in important moments. I did a topic, again, the 5 things that all NFL head coaches must have. Pat Shurmur fails 3 of the 5. 3 of the 5 criteria you need to be a great NFL head coach. Do people respect you and fear you? Are you organized? Are you a high-velocity thinker? Can you make decisions when you got to make it right now in a tense, critical situation? Pat Shurmur fails all 3 of those. I think he's a good football mind. I think his decision-making outside of the game, just generally seems fine. But I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. And, after a lot of thought, I want to change my mind. Pat Shurmur should no longer be the head coach of the New York Giants. Nope. The Giants should hire Ron Rivera, the former Panthers head coach, to be their next head coach in New York. They should move on. They should walk away. Ron Rivera should be the next head coach of the New York Giants. He's well respected. He's organized. He makes good decisions in game moments in critical situations. He's an overall good decision maker, and he knows X's and O's. He's a great defensive mind. He's a brilliant defensive coordinator. Now, I have a hope. It will not happen. It's too radical of an idea, but I have a hope and a dream that this will happen for the New York Giants. I'm not a Giants fan. I want to see teams be successful. I like creating plans. How do you fix this team? The Giants should make Ron Rivera their head coach. He's in charge of the defense. He's the head coach of the New York Giants. And here's the radical part. Then you demote Pat Shurmur. You keep Pat Shurmur in the building, but you say, hey, Pat, you're no longer the head coach. You're just now the offensive coordinator. Go do what you're good at. You're a good offensive coordinator. You've never been a good head coach. Doesn't seem like you got it going on. We're going to demote you. And I don't like the idea of, here's why. Here's why you keep Pat Shurmur. I hate the idea of changing offensive schemes during the offseason for rookie quarterback Daniel Jones. You have this rookie quarterback Daniel Jones who is still finding his footing in New York. He's not even allowed to make checks at the line of scrimmage yet. He can't check to runs the same way Eli Manning, the old quarterback, can. And to make Daniel Jones learn an entirely new system going into year 2 of his NFL career is a bad move. I just think that's a horribly bad plan. I just think that hurts Daniel Jones. I really, really strongly would not make Daniel Jones learn a new offense going into year 2. Seems like a bad idea. I think making him scratch all the progress he's made and restart is a mistake. Pat Shurmur might not be a good head coach, but he is a good offensive coordinator. I demote him. And I really think the locker room would be fine if you demoted Pat Shurmur. The Giants players don't have a ton of respect for him anyways. And I think Pat Shurmur would take the offer. If you said, hey, Pat, you're no longer the head coach. We want to keep you. Here's the offer. You're either fired or you become our offensive coordinator. I think he takes it. I think Pat Shurmur would be willing to be the offensive coordinator. He loves football. He likes Daniel Jones. He likes New York. I think he likes it there. Honestly, I think Pat Shurmur can understand and realize I'm a little bit in over my head. I'm not the head coach I want to be and I wish I was. I think he said, hey, Pat, you're fired or you're the offensive coordinator. He would just take the offensive coordinator job. He'd help Daniel Jones. He'd build a good offense. That's what he does. That's literally his best skill set is he can hate him, love him as a head coach, whatever. Forget head coach Pat Shurmur in the past. Look at what he did with the Vikings. He's a good offensive coordinator. He's not an idiot. He's not a loser. He knows football. But his skills are not the skills of a head coach. Hire Ron Rivera as the head coach. Demote Pat Shurmur. Make Pat Shurmur the offensive coordinator and keep continuity for the Giants' rookie quarterback, Daniel Jones. That is my proposal. That is my radical hope for the New York Giants franchise.